"Did you ever fight back?" I asked. "Twice, but I got pretty badly beaten," said Rich Dad. "You used the story of the ugly duckling to keep you going, didn't you?" "I used the story of the ugly duckling, the story of the three little pigs, the story of David and Goliath, the story of the tortoise and the hare to keep me going. Instead of letting those bullies get me down, I used their actions to inspire me to do better. Today, I have a house of bricks, and we are in the penthouse in that house of bricks." "You became the swan?" I said with a smile. "Well, I wouldn't go that far," Rich Dad chuckled. "The point is that we can all grow, evolve, and make dramatic changes in our lives if we want to. The other point is that fairy tales can come true. Ugly ducks can become beautiful swans, and slow tortoises can win the race." From slow plan to fast plan. In one of my classes, a young woman asked, "What is the first step?" I explained that in 1989, 2 years after the market crashed and a recession set in, Kim and I were working on our plan. We had agreed that we would buy 2 pieces of real estate a year for 10 years. As the market crashed, we found more and more deals as more and more people panicked. In less than a year, we had purchased 5 small rental properties, each with a positive cash flow. I estimate that we had looked at over 600 properties just to find those 5 small houses that made investment sense. But now the market was getting worse, and more deals were appearing. The problem was, we were out of money. I realized that we were at the limits of our context, our reality. "So it was time to change your reality?" asked another student. "Yes," I said. "It was time to change or miss a window of opportunity." The first thing I did was admit to myself that I was being a tortoise who wanted to quit. And it was not time to quit, it was time to push on. Keeping the lessons from those fairy tales in mind, I continued instead of giving up. One day after Kim and I had just come back from a trip, the phone rang. The call was from my favorite real estate broker. "I just found the deal of the day," he said. "If you are interested in it, I'll give you a half-hour head start before I tell another one of my clients." He told me it was a 12-unit apartment house that was in a great area, and it was only $335,000, $35,000 down, and the seller was anxious to sell. The broker then faxed me the sales data on the property with a rough pro forma on income and expenses. I told the broker to give me half an hour, and I would drive out immediately to look at it. When I got there, I realized why it was such a great deal, so I dashed to a payphone and told the broker I would take it. Even though we had no money, I offered the sellers what they were asking, which was $35,000 down, and they would carry the $300,000 at 8% interest for 5 years. It was such a great deal that I could not pass it up. My only problem now was to find the $35,000 in 30 days, which is when the couple wanted to move out. "So how did you afford it?" asked the student. "Or did you afford it?" Finally, after sweating, praying, and doing our best not to quit, we took our paperwork to our bank and presented our story to the bank manager. After he turned us down, I asked him why he turned us down, and what could I have done better.